Style sheet, okay. So now if I hit save and reload the page, you will notice that this does not work. Nothing happens. Why? Well, it's because this line of code does not apply in our current version of our WordPress theme. So WordPress does not support this template path dot blah 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 encoding. So if you actually go to View, Page Source, and let's take a look at where we've added in our style sheet. It's here. You would see that the path for our path is incorrect because it is trying to add pagenavi.css and is also adding it in the wrong location because it's adding it in from the applications instead of using our local host, and so that is not going to work. Okay, so what we need to do is to fix up that the href. So going back, remember instead of using echo, remember we've dealt with the blog info function. We've used it before in order to include the directory path, which is blog info, and then we type in directory just give me a second to find the exact code. Okay, this is actually called template directory. My error, template underscore directory. Okay, so after that's done, let us close up this tag. So this would find the path to our template directory, and then after that, we don't really need this echo thing. So let's remove all of that. And now, after that, we have the page navigation, pagenavi.css, except inside our package, the file is actually not called that. So if we go back to our practice theme folder, oops, I seem to have closed up the folder. It's okay. If we go back to our folder, themes, practice theme, and you look for that CSS file, it's actually called pagenav-css.css. So going back to our code, we need to change that into -css.css. And then we also don't need this closing PHP tag anymore. And we don't need that comma, that quote mark, single quote. And everything looks okay to me. So let's just hit save and then reload. Okay, so you can see that we have a preliminary set of page navigation, except right now this does not fit inside our theme. And so in order to change that, what we need to do is to edit the CSS file. So going back into our theme.css file, open it up, and you would see that it includes a bunch of links for the CSS information. Now I've prepared for you a CSS file where I've actually just, for the sake of just saving time, I've created this file so you can just copy and paste the style coding, because really this is just a preference thing in order for us to determine how things look like. And so the file is called HTML2WP pagenavi.css, and this is the file. Simply just copy and paste the whole thing, and then go back into our the pagenavi-css.css file, and then just take everything below. Just leave the file and copyright information up top for the content owner, and then just hit save. And then go back to our page and reload, and you see now that the formatting is back into the same color theme as what we have, except that it's kind of close to the text above the content of what we have above. So it's probably a good idea for us to include a div or something just to push the content downwards. So in order to do that, let us go back into our index.php file. And so you can see this is just added there. And so we could essentially just go in and put a div of, let's say, put a class name of, what did I call it? Okay, page-navigation. Okay, and then close it on the other side, and hit save, and then go back and refresh the page, and you would see that our page navigation now looks like what we're supposed to have. And then if you go back, you would see that this is essentially the end of the tutorial for embedding your Pagination plugin directly into your theme. And so now what you should do is probably to copy and paste this entire div tag and put it into other pages, such as your archives page or your search page, etc. Anywhere you need to display pages of content with navigation in it. And this concludes our last tutorial on HTML2 WordPress. And I really hope you enjoyed the series of screencasts and hopefully learned something useful.